You have to love your work, don't you? It's amazing. Today we're going to be talking about unleashing our divine potential. Amazing. I came into work the other day, and the first thing that Liz says to me, she's our office manager, administrator, she says, I need a title for your talk for March 5th. And I said, okay, you'll get it once I get it. As soon as I receive it, I'll give it to you. So I went into the office and completely forgot about it, like immediately. I had so many other things to do. And she came in a couple hours later and looked at me. And I said, oh, yeah. So I just grabbed whatever was on my desk. This is the minister's trick, by the way. Just surround yourself with the mail that comes in, and you'll always have something to say. A daily word, whatever it is. You just pick it up. And I said, okay, it's unleashing your divine potential. Wow! Now, come on, they send me this in the mail, like on everything. It's their new catchphrase, tagline. They send you in the mail. With every piece of Unity mail, it says it's time to unleash your divine potential. And it becomes something you get used to hearing, and you never think about it. So once I said, unleash your divine potential, I had to think about it. What the heck is that? What do they mean by unleashing your divine potential? What is it, and how do I unleash it? I got to figure this out, and I only have 10 minutes. Awesome. Isn't that awesome? I'm going to receive something in the next 10 minutes from God that's going to change my life. How many of you think about that during the day? At any point during any day? She does. There you go. That's because you've been hanging around here a little while. She does over there. Yay, of course. That's what I think about. I have 10 minutes, and I'm going to receive something from the divine creator, universal mind, that's going to change my life. And not only that, I get to go out and share it with you. Holy mackerel. What an amazing function. And we all have that function. Each and every one of us have been called in our own special way to bring something amazing into this world. Seeing with heart. Something starts talking to me, and I start writing with my left hand, and what the heck is it saying? How do I put this in a form that other people can gain some incredible experience from? The experience that I'm having. I want to share it with you, and I know that I have to unleash this potential in a form that's understandable to my brothers and sisters. So I love it because as soon as I said it, then I had to write the synopsis. And it's great because I don't even think about it. I just start writing. Unleash my divine potential. The first thing I think about. Everything that God is, I am. That's a prayer. That's an affirmation. And it happens to go good in my synopsis. When somebody reads that in the program, they're going to have an experience from that one sentence. Everything that God is, I am. But I am in divine potential. Because not any one of us can say, I am that, I am manifesting that, I am representing that all the time. That's why we're here. We wouldn't be here unless we had a function of bringing God into manifestation. So there came a point when I had no other choice in my life than to unleash that inner light, to release the inner light in order to heal myself and to bring that healing to the world. And I realized that was a necessity of the evolution of human consciousness. We all have that necessity to bring forth the inner light into the world. And we're going to do it in our own beautiful way. When I read a lesson in the Course in Miracles that says, the light of the world brings peace to every mind through my forgiveness, that really struck a chord in me that empowered me so deeply that I can actually bring peace to every mind. Even just one mind would be enough. But Jesus told me in the course that I can bring peace to every mind through my forgiveness. That's real motivation. Now I have a real motivation to forgive, to seek the light in you rather than judge you. I have a real motivation because that's bringing, we say, let there be peace on earth every week, and let it begin with me. Thank you, Brenda. Let it begin with me. And I have to see the light in you, at least look for the light in you, rather than constantly judge the outer appearance, your ego, your personality. I can only judge your ego if I'm using mine. So, oh boy. Yeah, if I'm saying something about you, what am I using to say it with? What am I using to judge you with? My own ego. I want peace. I want to hear what is contained in this very important teaching for me, that I can bring peace to this place, this world. In fact, I can bring peace to every mind. And there is a way to do this. And one of the ways in unity is to claim our spiritual inheritance, which is the first part of the synopsis. All that God is, I am. That's an amazing thing. By affirming our Christ nature, we're going to develop the attributes of Christ's mind. So we're going to automatically replace what we were doing before, our limited thinking, our judging, and all of our complaining, and all of that kind of, I call it defense mechanisms that don't work. What I'm defending against, I'm becoming. So you can't do that because you begin to represent something that you don't want to be. I can't defend. I cannot resist evil. I must represent the light. So we're affirming our Christ nature. We take on the attributes of Christ, which is our own enlightened mind and heart beating in harmony and purpose. When my heart and my mind are working together, that's when something really amazing is happening. When I'm trying to get rid of my thoughts, they always seem to come back for some reason. What if I just allow them to be and allow them to take on new vibrations, a higher vibration, higher thinking, and affirm that everything that God is, I am. And affirm that the light of Christ is in me. It's not something I'm waiting for out there that may come back someday in some form I understand. Try to understand the form you're in. Try to understand this form and allow the Christ to come into you. I wrote a song called The Second Coming of Christ. You guys remember that a little bit. You are the second coming of Christ. Because it's in here, it's in your mind, it's in your consciousness. It has to come out through the form that you have taken on in this world. Isn't that amazing? And how do I do it except to see it in you? And to bring it, like through our communication, our hearts and minds also vibrating in harmony with one another, it starts to come out of you as well. So I feel something when I see you, when I meet you. Oh my goodness, I am actually meeting the Christ. I'm meeting the light. It's amazing. And this is what our way shower Jesus represented, is that whoever he met, no matter what they looked like, what they said to him, what their condition was of mind or body, he saw the light. He saw the Christ or himself or our Creator in that person. And that's how they were healed. And that's how you are healed today. It's not something that was particular to Jesus. We all have this power. We all must utilize it. We all must give up our attack on the other person. And it doesn't matter what they say or do to you, you be kind to them as much as you possibly can. Represent your true self, who you know yourself to be. When I find this harmony, I know then through experience that I'm bringing peace to every mind. And I experience that deep peace within myself. I cannot expect to believe the promise of the Scriptures that I will bring peace to every mind until I'm experiencing it. So I've identified 5 ways. I just came up with this last night. I love inventing things. Because then I see how it's already been in the universe in so many different ways, but this is my unique expression of it. And I've identified something I like to call, it's a way to unleash our divine potential. If I learned to say it, maybe I could do it. We're going to unleash our divine potential by identifying these 5 attributes of spiritual awakening. All right, let's see what the first one is. I'm curious myself because I went to bed right after I invented this. Okay, just what I said. We're recognizing that my own mind is one with the mind of God. Therefore, it's all powerful. Think of all the things, all the attributes with which you have endowed this idea of God. Creator, omnipresent, omniscient, omnipotent, all-powerful, all-knowing, everywhere present. Wow, that's me. Oh my goodness, that's me. Even if I can't understand how to do that, getting this into my mind is going to allow me to experience it or do it. None of us here in this room, except maybe Bruce and Charlie, understand quantum physics. And Lily. But we use quantum physics every single day in a bunch of things that we use. Cell phones, televisions, wireless communication. This guitar is wireless. I don't know how that happens. A signal goes through and then it happens. We use quantum physics all the time and we don't understand any of it. We don't have to understand it. You take out your cell phone and you dial the number. The signal goes up to a satellite in space, then it comes all the way back down. And if it's like a half a second late, you go, bad, I got a bad connection. The thing had to go to space. Come on. There was a guy in the airplane trying to hook on his computer, and he says, boy, the Wi-Fi is slow on this airplane. And the flight attendant said, they just invented the thing last week. Come on. We don't know how this works in the particulars of the energetic transfer of the vibrational fields of energy, but we know that it works and we can put it to practice. All we have to do is dial up the number by saying it, affirming it in our minds. That's all. My own mind is one with the mind of God. And as I affirm that, I begin to experience it. I begin to manifest it. The next one, I accept that my being is spiritual in nature and does not begin and end with the body. Now, why was that amazing service yesterday so powerful for everyone? Because everyone was open. The moment of somebody's passing, you're open to suggestions that death isn't real. You're open to something else, to an idea that maybe we are spiritual in nature. Maybe I didn't start with the body, and when my body is over, I'm going to end. Maybe that I am consciousness itself, and I can act that way if I want to. It's my choice. So number 3 is really acting that way. I'm allowing my higher mind to think for me and guide me. And I'm trusting in something beyond my present understanding. So I'm allowing a guidance to occur that's from a higher mind, the higher mind in me, the part of my mind that has recognized I am one with the mind of God and that I am spiritual in nature. That's what is guiding me now. And we can turn to that. That's the function of prayer. I'm smiling at my prayer partner. So we have so many miracles already. And I don't know how long we've known each other, like 2 years. And the world has changed. Our world, certainly. But many, many people have been touched just because we pray for them. And we laugh because when you're working miracles and people are experiencing the miracle and you don't tell them about it, it's really cool. It's really funny. And then you say, well, would that have happened anyway? It's a good question, right? Of course it would have happened anyway, because that's the condition of the perfection of God's mind, right? It's always perfect. It's always in divine order. So in prayer, what do? By affirming divine order, we speed it up. And we have to follow the guidance of Spirit in order to be in that divine order ourselves. When we get out of divine order, we're of no use to ourselves or anybody else. So this is a very important step. Trusting something beyond my present understanding. We affirm it, we use it in prayer, and we allow the Spirit to manifest it in ways that are for everyone's highest good. We always pray for the highest good of everyone involved. And we affirm divine order and grace and ease. Get out of the way. Now I have to get out of the way because if I want to cultivate an ability to understand things from a higher perspective, I cannot attempt to use my old understanding. This is a new type of understanding. It's understanding things from a higher perspective. So what an amazing thing. My mind is actually changing. It's expanding. And you may not even be able to understand or communicate what's happening in your mind because you're understanding ways from a higher perspective, not from the old perspective. The old perspective was always past, the past perspective. So now, in number 5, this is the final thing. I'm experiencing communication as waves of vibration rather than concepts being described by words. So it's a different kind of communication. If somebody came in here and started to explain unity principles to you in Japanese or Chinese, very few of you would know what they were saying. Russian or Polish or French or... Oh, we're getting closer. We might understand a few words of Spanish. Many of us don't even understand English. Well, we tell you every week that there's only one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, and then you run out and act the exact opposite. We tell you that Christ is in you, and you run out and act like a small little being that's attacked and a victim of the world. We tell you that your thoughts are creating your reality. This is English. I'm speaking English. And I blame things out there for creating my reality. No, my thoughts are what shape what I see in the world and create my reality. And number 4, see, I'm going with the 5 principles of unity because I realized what I was writing kind of lines up with those 5 principles somewhere. It's kind of cool. So prayer increases our conscious contact with God. God mind, and increases the activity of God mind in us. And it brings about a very nice, easy flow into principle 5 of unity, which is it's not enough to know the principles, I have to live them. So here, the way to live the principles is actually being aware of the vibratory nature of my energy with you. It's a very different way of communicating. Leave space for the vibration to happen when you meet someone. Really look at them. Really communicate with them. If you're going to hug somebody, really hug them. If you're going to love somebody, really love them. If you're going to dislike somebody, look at your own mind of why that person is bringing up those feelings in you. Because it has to come back to your own relationship with yourself and your own relationship to God. What is your vibratory nature right here, right now? What am I communicating to the world? I can say all the nice spiritual things, but if I am vibrating in anger and judgment, it's not going to make any difference. It's not going to make any sense. It's not going to communicate the love. And in fact, don't be afraid of all that stuff because it's non-creative. Do you get that? It's non-creative. It doesn't hurt anything. The Christ in you cannot be touched. The Christ in you is beyond the attacks of the world. Jesus proved that in the crucifixion. In fact, I love the Course in Miracles because it redefines all these historic events that we've held in such embedded theology. And it says, the message of the crucifixion is very clear. You want to know what it is? Teach only love, because that is what you are. So whenever you're feeling crucified, whenever you're feeling attacked or a victim of the world, please choose to teach love. And choose to teach only love, because that is what you are. And that's how you will unleash your divine potential. I love you guys. Have a great week. I love you so much. You're going to make me cry now.
You have been watching the message from our Sunday celebration service here at Unity on Cape Cod, providing a positive path for spiritual living. Please join us every Sunday morning at 10 a.m. at 147 Walton Ave, Hyannis, Mass. And visit us online at www.unityoncapecod.org.